Good afternoon. Oh, they're awake. That's always nice to see. Welcome to the Southern Gateway Chorus's annual holiday show. I can guarantee you, no matter what level of music appreciation you're at, I can guarantee you will enjoy this show. It's going to be just great. My name is Jim Legters. I'm so pleased to be here in sunny, balmy Cincinnati. I'm not joking. I live in an area in northwestern Pennsylvania where lake effect is a nasty phrase. You folks read about it and hear about it, but believe me, lake effect is not fun. So I'm glad to be here in balmy Cincinnati. If you have not already done so, would you please turn off your cell phones or at least put them on mute? We don't want any interruptions. And flash photography is not allowed. That would definitely be an interruption. And video recording is against the rules also. Those are the only rules we have. Sit back and enjoy yourselves. Oh, I have one more thing to add. Did you number the pages of your program yet? You might want to do that. I'm going to refer to page 8 a little bit later, and you might want to know where page 8 is, just if you have nothing else to do. And don't forget to fill out your door prize cards. We can collect those later also. If you're ready, we're ready. I'm just so proud to introduce to you the Southern Gateway Chorus under the direction of Jeff Legters.
Let's take a ride. Let's take a ride. Let's take a ride. Let's take a ride. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. A ride with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. With you, with you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Let's go, let's go. Let's look at the show. Let's go. We're riding a wonderland of snow. It's snow, it's snow. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. It's grand. Just holding your hand. We're riding along with the song of a wintry fairyland. Cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy, cozy are we. We're snuggled up together like two birds of a feather would be. Two birds would be. Let's take their rolling forest and sing a chorus or two. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. With you, with you. There's a birthday party at the home of Farmer Gray. It'll be the perfect ending of a perfect day. We'll be singing the song we love to sing without a single stop. At the fireplace where we watch the chestnuts pop, 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 pop. There's a happy feeling nothing in the world can buy. We pass around the coffee and the pumpkin pie. It'll do me like a picture grid, like Currier and Ice. Oh, these wonderful things are the things we remember all through our lives. Let's hear the sleigh bells jingling, ring, tumbling, come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. A ride with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather, it's lovely weather, it's lovely weather, it's lovely weather, it's lovely weather to ride. Let's take a ride. Let's take a ride. Let's take a ride. Let's take a sleigh. Merry Christmas, Christmas comes this time of year. Well, way up north where the air gets cold, there's a tale about Christmas that you've all been told. And a real famous cat all dressed up in red, and he spends the whole year working out on his sled. It's the little Saint Nick. Little Saint Nick, just a little bump, we call it missed no one. And hauling through the snow at a frightening speed, with a half a dozen deer with a Rudy to lead. He's got to wear his goggles 'cause the snow really flies, and he's cruising every path with a little surprise. It's the little Saint Nick, little Saint Nick. It's the little Saint Nick, little Saint Nick. Oh, Merry Christmas, Christmas comes this time each year. Oh, Merry Christmas, Christmas comes this time each year. Run, run, reindeer, run, run, reindeer, run, run, reindeer, 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 run.
Each November, when the air turns colder and the days grow shorter, people everywhere begin to think about the upcoming holidays, complete with sleigh rides, decorations, and of course, a visit from St. Nick. For many of us, songs such as Over the River and Through the Woods, White Christmas, and There's No Place Like Home for the Holidays remind us of the joy of returning home to spend time with loved ones.
But for some, like those deployed in the military or families who just can't make the long journey home, the holidays can be a bittersweet combination of fond memories of Christmases past and the longing to be with those they love so much. So for those folks, the thought of spending time with loved ones over the holidays can only be found in their dreams.
My home's the place I want to be when it's Christmas time. I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. So I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. So I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. If only in my dreams.
While some people head north to enjoy the frosty winter weather, followed by a cozy fire, others look to escape the cold and all the hustles and bustles of the holidays. Whether it's with family and friends, or just a day at the beach for two, people head for places like Cabo and Cancun, or the Bahamas and Bermuda, to spend Christmas in the land of pina coladas and calypso music, of steel drum bands and warm sunny days, as they bask in the warmth of Christmas in the tropics.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. Felicidad. Which way to the manger of the Christ child? Which way to the cradle of the King? Which way to the babe and the mother? Glory, glory, hear the angels sing. Which way to the manger of the Christ child? Which way to the cradle of the King? Which way to the babe and the mother? Glory, glory, hear the angels sing. Oh, the way is shown as stars so bright, for the Lord is born in Bethlehem tonight. Oh, the way is shown as stars so bright, for the Lord is born in Bethlehem tonight. Tell me which way to the manger of the Christ child, which way to the cradle of the King, which way to the babe and the mother? Glory, glory, hear the angels sing. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Which way to the manger of the Christ child? Which way to the cradle of the King? Which way to the babe and the mother? Glory, glory, hear the angels sing. Oh, the way is shown as stars so bright, for the Lord is born in Bethlehem tonight. Which way to the manger of the Christ child? Which way to the cradle of the King? Which way to the baby Jesus? Which way to the Lord Almighty? Which way? Which way? Which way?
But it doesn't matter where you are at Christmas. From Minnesota to Mexico, from New York to LA, the fat man in the big red sleigh always manages to find you, bringing with him joy in the form of presents, both given and received. So it doesn't matter if you're by a bonfire with a hot buttered rum or on the beach with a Bahama mama. The spirits of the season give way to the spirit of the season, as our hearts are filled with the special peace and happiness that only Christmas can bring.
From Coney Island to the Sunset Strip, somebody's gonna make a happy trip tonight, while the moon is bright. Tonight while the moon is bright, he's gonna have a bag of crazy toys, oh yeah! Cronies of the girls and boys, so dig. Santa comes on big ba-ba-doo-ba-da-da. He'll come a-calling when the snow's the most, when all you cats are sleeping as warm as toast, and you're gonna flip when old Saint Nick takes a lick
On a peppermint stick.
well, he'll come a-flying from a higher place, oh yeah, and fill the stockings by the fireplace, so you'll just have a Yule, that's cool, yeah, ba-da-da-da, oh yeah, he'll come flying from a higher place. Wa-da-ba-da-ba-shoo-up, come a-flying from a higher place, and fill the stockings by the fireplace, so you'll have a Yule, that's cool, yeah, you'll have a Yule so cool, you'll have a Yule so da-da-da-da. When old Saint Nicky flies in the sky, flying high, so high.
Wow, talk about a gift, right? So how many people are all finished with their Christmas shopping already? Yeah, all right. How many of you like skipped the whole Black Friday thing and just bought everything online, right? Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. You can get anything and you can have it shipped to you or shipped right to the person that you're shopping for. You can go crazy. Now, in the old days, it wasn't that simple, right? I mean, gifts weren't as extravagant and they weren't as wrappable. But when it comes to gift giving and getting crazy, these next two guys kind of take the Christmas cookie. Oh, and without using Amazon Prime.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the third day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 3 French hens.
Parlez-vous?
2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 4th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 4 calling birds.
Hello? What? Hello? What? Is there someone there?
3 French hens.
Ooh, baguette.
2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds.
Hello? Still can't hear you.
Nothing.
Nope.
3 French hens.
Oh, the fiancé?
2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 6 geese a-laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds.
Hello? Can you hear me now? Is that, I can't, you're breaking up. No, no.
3 French hens.
Beyonce? That's French.
2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 7 swans a-swimming. 6 geese a-laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds.
Hello? Still can't hear you. I a little bit. I can't, no.
3 French hens.
Oh, the serviette.
2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 8 maids a-milking. 7 swans a-swimming. 6 geese a-laying. 5
signal. I can hear you.
Three French hens,
French toast.
two turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the ninth day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 9 ladies dancing. 8 maids a milking. 7 swans a swimming. 6 geese a laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds.
Hello. Horizon. There you are. I got you. Side.
3 French hens.
French fries.
2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 10 lords a leaping. 9 ladies dancing. 8 maids a milking.
Ooh, his hands are so cold.
7 swans a swimming. 6 geese a laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds.
Hey, you kind of messed up with the ring there, dude.
3 French hens.
French kiss.
2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 11 pipers piping. 10 lords a leaping. 9 ladies dancing. 8 maids a milking. 7 swans a swimming. 6 geese a laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds.
Saved our butts there, didn't they?
3 French hens.
French words.
2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 12 drummers drumming. 11 pipers piping. 10 lords a leaping. 9 ladies dancing. 8 maids a milking. 7 swans a swimming. Dixie's a lady.
I got one. Did you get one?
Hang up the phone.
Three French hens.
Sucre son soi-même par son propre réflexe déclaré. On s'y trouve on est un junior si exhausté. Tirez ton.
Two turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Merry Christmas and
Our featured guests tonight are serious a cappella singers. You probably won't find them skating across on carts on the stage, but they are just like Southern Gateway guys. They come from different walks of life, but they love harmony. Give a big warm welcome to No Promises.
One, two, three, one, two.
Da ba da ba ba da ba da ba ba da ba da ba da.
Raindrops on roses, whiskers on kittens, bright copper petals, warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies, crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells, schnitzel with noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses, blue sashes, flakes that fall, my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. So bad, my heart wants to sing with the sun. Raindrops on roses, whiskers on kittens, copper petals, woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudel, doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel with noodle, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Girls in white dresses, blue sashes, flakes that stain my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are No Promises vocal band based right here in Cincinnati. This is near the beginning of our annual Christmas with No Promises tour. Our last show was earlier this week on the far east side of Cincinnati. So in order to come over here, we all got our passports ready. They stopped us at the border. They force-fed us Price Hill chili and made us swear allegiance to Pete Rose. But everything's good now. We're ready to go. That was, of course, My Favorite Things from Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical The Sound of Music. That was an arrangement that harkened back to John Coltrane's treatment of the same name from his self-same album title from the 1960s. We got a number of holiday selections for you this afternoon, but we'd like to stick with vocal jazz for just a moment longer. This one is by an arranger by the name of Gene Perling. If you're not familiar with Gene, he was the mastermind behind the mid-20th century group The Hi-Lo's, as well as the 80s group Singers Unlimited, and the group that made this arrangement a Grammy Award winner. I'm speaking, of course, of the Manhattan Transfer, in this next tune, A Nightingale Sang in Berkeley Square.
That certain night, the night we met,
there was
magic abroad in the air. There were angels dining at the Ritz,
and a
nightingale sang in Berkeley Square.
I may be
wrong,
but I'm
perfectly willing to swear that when you turned and smiled at me,
a
nightingale sang in Berkeley Square.
The moon that lingered over London town, poor old puzzled moon, he wore a frown.
Oh, how could he know we two were so in love?
the
Whole wide world seemed upside down.
the
Streets of town were paved with stars. It was such a romantic affair. And as we kissed and said goodbye,
a
nightingale sang in Berkeley Square.
a
Nightingale sang, a nightingale sang.
The streets of town
Were paved with stars.
It was
Such a romantic affair. And as we kissed and said goodbye,
a
nightingale sang in Berkeley Square.
a
Nightingale sang
Thank you. Last night we were on stage and I did a little math while we're here, and I realized that 46 years ago this summer I joined the Southern Gateway Chorus. And then I realized that Jeff was 7 years old and he was the only person on stage alive at the time other than me. And then they all chimed in and gave their various ages, and it was painful but gratifying all at the same time. Josh mentioned we have some shows coming up. We are singing next Friday night, the 14th, down at the Garfield Theater, the old Shakespeare Theater downtown. Tickets are available for that online. And next Thursday, the 20th, a week from Thursday, we're at Good Shepherd. That's a free concert. Better come early. There's usually, last year I think there were 1,400 people, so it's a humdinger. Speaking of young kids, you like humdinger? Okay, am I dating myself?
Wait, how old are you again, Nat?
So, I am here on stage with all these CCM grads and these. David's a Broadway veteran. Noah over here has taken a break from Spamalot, touring the country. Before that, he was doing the Buddy Holly story. Skylar over here, well, he was in West Side Story touring the company. He's at Glimmerglass in the summer. They pick up sheet music. They just read it. I'm, the barbershopper in the corner. But Skylar here is in town for, what, a month and a half? I actually met Skylar at a funeral, and I think he looks pretty good for Thank you, Josh. Skylar's going to sing the next tune for us, a little bit more traditional Christmas time with a little bit of jazz thrown in, a little Silent Night. Oh, are we not doing silent? I just introduced the next song. Let's step back. We're actually going to do my favorite Christmas ballad by the Blenders, which is a group out of Minneapolis. I wrote these things on the floor, too. This is A Tiny Little Christmas.
Shoo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, wee-oo-doo-doo-wah, shoo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, wee-oo-doo-doo-doo-wah. I remember I was small, seeing Santa at the mall, and the people rushing all around, and everywhere candy canes, wooden horses, planes, and the whitest snow upon the ground. It was a tiny little Christmas, a shiny little Christmas. We all the lights growing big and bright. It was a lovely little season. Tonight we have a reason to sing, my friends. Bring it back again. How I love all those memories I have of a tiny little Christmas. Yeah. Whoa.
I was thinking of an age when I loved to turn the page, reading about the Grinch on Grandma's knee. And there were presents everywhere, piled high into the air. How I hope that they were all for me. Oh, it was a tiny little Christmas, a shiny little Christmas, when all the lights growing big and bright. It was a lovely little season. Tonight we have a reason to sing, my friends. Bring it back again. How I love all those memories I have on tiny little Christmas. Yeah. Laying under the tree seems like yesterday to me. laying out in the snow. Doesn't seem so long ago. Now I feel the same way that I felt on Christmas Day.
It was a tiny little
Christmas, a shiny little Christmas, growing back again.
It was a
lovely little season. Tonight we have a reason to sing, my friends. Bring it back again. How I love all those memories I have of a tiny little Christmas.
Shoo-doo-doo.
Whoa,
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory stream from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing Alleluia. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night.
mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun we're gonna be together this Christmas. The fireside blazing bright, we're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-do. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheer. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes outshine the town they do. This Christmas, the fireside blazing bright, we're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be very special Christmas for me. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-do. This Christmas, this Christmas, fireside blazing bright, we're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be very special Christmas for me, and this Christmas will be very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Shake your hand now. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Oh, so hang all the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. Yeah.
Mr. Noah Berry. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry to say that our set has almost come to an end. Nonetheless, we'd very much like to thank the legendary Southern Gateway Chorus for hosting us tonight, Mr. Paul Gilman for inviting us, Miss Margie Coleman backstage, Scott on the audio. Wonderful mix tonight. Thank you, Scott. We hope you guys check us out on Facebook. It's the best way to stay in touch with us and everything we've got going on. No Promises Vocal Band on Facebook. We also have a number of concerts, as Nat mentioned, this coming Friday, the 14th, Garfield Theater on Race Street downtown, and the 20th, free concert at Good Shepherd Catholic Church in Montgomery. We'd also like to tell you we have a CD for sale tonight. As a matter of fact, folks, we have 2 CDs for sale. Our Christmas release, which features many of the tunes you heard tonight, as well as our release from earlier this summer. It's called All Wet, 10 tracks of pop tunes from the 60s to the hits of today. Both of them available for the special West Side price of just $15. And today only, folks, you can buy both for $30. We sincerely hope you partake. We'd like to close with a tune by Harry Connick Jr. This one's called It Must Have Been Old Santa.
Ah, there you are. That one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I saw old Santa through my window Christmas Eve. My eyes were really drooping, but I really do believe it must have been old Santa, 'cause I saw his big red hat, and I know my mom and dad can't fly like that. Oh no, I know my mom and dad can't fly like that. Then I heard some footsteps in the hall outside my door. Same old Christmas trick my dad had played since I was 4. He stands outside my bedroom, yelling ho, 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 because he knows I don't believe in Santa Claus. No way. He knows I don't believe in Santa Claus. I think my daddy sees me peeking from my door, but he pretends he's Santa anyway.
Hey Santa, must be Santa.
Every year he tries to fool me, but I'm a big boy now. I don't believe in Santa or his sleigh. No way. So I went back to my bed and I curled up nice and tight. Thanks. I stared out of my window and I looked into the night. And then all of a sudden, from my window I could see Santa Claus was flying by, smiling at me. Hey, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, must have been old Santa Claus. Santa Claus, Santa Claus, happy ho, ho, ho to you. Then I heard old Rudolph telling me to come outside. He told me that old Santa wanted me to take a ride. I climbed out of my window and I jumped onto his sleigh. And then old Santa took me up and away. Santa took me up and away. We flew high above the rooftops to the sleepy town below. I saw my big red schoolhouse and the town square picture show. It was nearly past my bedtime, and so old Santa said,
Little boys like you should be in bed.
So I hollered, ho, 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 and I put on Santa's hat. And then he let me hold the reins a while. That sleigh, no way, but pulled up to my window, and I jumped back in my room, and I waved goodbye to Santa with a smile. Do away. When I woke up Christmas morning, it was clear and bright. My parents at my window had blown open overnight. I smiled as I told them it must have been the cat. And they asked me where I got my big red hat. Yeah, yeah. They asked me where I got my big red hat. Come on, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, must have been old Santa Claus. Santa Claus, Santa Claus, happy ho, ho, ho to you in the morning. Ho, ho, ho to you in the evening. Ho, ho, ho to you. Bye up. Good night, everyone.
No more let sin and sorrow grow, nor thorns infest the ground. He comes to make his blessings known, far as the curse is found, far as the curse is found, far as the curse is found. There's joy, 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 truth and grace and wonders of his love and wonders
peace on earth. Sounds great, doesn't it? I mean, really, who wouldn't be in favor of peace on earth? The problem is that it's the epitome of the old saying, easier said than done.
And through the ages, poets, songwriters, social servants, philosophers, politicians, religious scholars have all addressed the issue of peace. What is it? Where is it? And how can we find it?
Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world can live as one. John Lennon.
If you want justice, well, justice is good, but if you want peace, you have to work for justice. Pope Paul VI.
If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. But if you're in peace, you are living in the present. The Dalai Lama.
And when it comes to this time of year, Carolyn Malika writes, Christmas was about God's gift to man and his peace as well as ours. For those looking for peace, maybe a small stable in Bethlehem is a good place to start.
The little Lord Jesus Today, when we think about peace in the world, very often we think about the Middle East. Most of us have spent our entire lifetime watching the people of the Middle East, including the Jewish people, struggle for peace. Of course, that struggle for the Jewish people goes back long before our lifetimes, long before the first Christmas, back to the days when Jews were released from slavery in Egypt and wandered the desert looking for a homeland, which was eventually found.
Even after settling in the Promised Land, they continually struggled against invading armies to protect their freedoms. In the 2nd century BC, after reclaiming Jerusalem from the Syrians, Jewish leaders ordered the cleansing and rededication of the Holy Second Temple. There was only enough oil to burn for one night, but the lamp miraculously burned for 8. At this time of year, Jews around the world remember and celebrate that miracle and the peace it represents at the festival of Hanukkah.
Jewish families all over the world gather and celebrate, lighting the 8 candles of the menorah, one for each night that the lamp miraculously burned. And that is why Hanukkah is called the Festival of Light.
As the sun goes down, families gather round. We come together now as long ago. Sweet laughter fills the air as we start the prayer. All begin to watch the tapers glow so low. Hanukkah, the festival of lights. Burn the candles brightly as we greet the festive nights. Fill our hearts with joy as we recall miracles of long ago. Now bless us one and all. Hanukkah, festival, lai la 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 la. Hanukkah, festival, lai la 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 la.
Peace on earth is something that people have been wishing for, praying for, and working for throughout our entire existence. But how do we go about truly defining peace?
One unknown author describes it like this: peace, it does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart.
If this definition is true, then Christmas is certainly a fitting example. For God sent his Son into a world full of noise and trouble. He came as a baby born in a stable, with the local king looking to kill him. He came knowing that he would die a horrible death at the very hands of those he came to save.
But he came with gentleness in his heart, love as his message, and salvation as his gift. So it is by this definition we rightfully refer to the child born in Bethlehem that night as the Prince of Peace.
Mary had a baby. Did she call him? King Jesus. What did she call him? King Jesus, my Lord. He was called King Jesus. Mary had a baby, He is called King Jesus, mighty counselor, King Emmanuel, mighty God, everlasting Father, Prince of Mary had a
Said the night wind to the little lamb, do you see what I see? Way up in the sky, little lamb, do you see what I see? A star, dancing in the night with a tail as big as a kite, with a tail as big as a kite. Said the little lamb to the shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear? Do you hear what I hear? Ringing through the sky, shepherd boy. Do you hear what I hear? Do you hear what I hear? A song, high above the trees with a voice as big as the sea, with a voice as big as the sea. Said the shepherd boy to the mighty king, do you know what I know? What I know, what I know, in your palace warm, mighty king. Do you know what I know? What I know, what I know, a child, shivers in the cold. Let us bring him silver and gold. Let us bring him silver and gold. Said the king to the people everywhere,
better personification of peace is there than a newly born baby? And what better example of peace is there than the unspoiled innocence of a child? To a child, there is no skin color, no preconceived idea of beauty, no political preference or choosing to take offense at every spoken word.
Only someone just like themselves. Someone to play with, someone to share with, and someone to love and be loved by in return. Someone they can make happy, which in turn brings them happiness. And if that's not peace on earth, what is?
I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And I thought how, as the day had come, the belfries of all Christendom had rolled along the unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Till ringing, singing on its way, the world revolved from night to day. A voice, a chime, chant sublime of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Then from each accursed mouth the cannon thundered in the south, and with the sound the carols drowned of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Well, it was like as if an earthquake rent the hearthstones of a continent, and made forlorn the households born of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Well, and in despair, I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Then pealed the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. The wrong shall fail, and the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Is that the answer? Am I the answer? Are you? Well, one thing for sure is I am the only one who can make that choice for me.
Thomas Kempis writes, "First, keep the peace within yourself. Then you can also spread peace to others."
And when asked about the subject of world peace, Mother Teresa said, to promote world peace, go home and love your family.
One of the many joys of the holidays is that it feels like the one time of year where we all seem to be open to putting aside the problems we wage for the other 50 weeks and being a little kinder to one another, at least for a while.
But can we really have world peace? John Lennon said, "I believe that as soon as people want peace in the world, they can have it. They just don't realize that they can get it."
And he may be right, but there's one more key factor here. In looking for peace on earth during the holidays, whether it be through the magic of Christmas, personified in the person of Santa Claus, or the miracle of the menorah on Hanukkah, or the majesty of the birth of Christ on Christmas morning, they all have one thing in common. It all starts with your willingness to believe.
We thank you for joining us this afternoon. We hope this time that we spent together has brought the peace and joy of this holiday season closer to your hearts as it has to ours. And now we make a decision. Do we leave that peace and joy here, or do we take it when we leave this room? And just as importantly, do we keep it within ourselves, or do we share it with others as we go? The world is a very challenging place. The holidays equally challenging. For those of you who celebrate Christmas with the birth of Christ, we have a quote to leave you with from author Jenny Hunt. She writes, "Whatever the circumstances around your Christmas are this year, may you find peace and hope in inviting Jesus into the mess." And to all of you, may God's gift of joy and hope, sent to us the birth of a baby, the Prince of Peace, may it find its way into your lives this season and beyond. And by sharing this gift, may we all do our part in creating peace on earth.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep